Fight back.
Fist up.
Fight back.
Fist up.
Fight back.
Fist up.
Fight back.
One solution.
Revolution.
One solution.
Revolution.
One solution.
Revolution.
100 Gala, where Bratton is the main speaker, is full of real estate developers, the head of an Israeli bank, Bank Cuny, titans of industry, representatives from transnational corporations. And these are the social citizens, that corporate citizenry that is getting awarded for being responsible. How much more irresponsible can you be than to take the lives of unarmed New Yorkers of color year after year after year? How much more irresponsible is this system and this corporate system, this capitalist system, than to have homelessness running rampant and to have people not being even having their basic needs met? If this is what responsibility is like, then this is a living hell for people of color, for poor people. And it continues today under Mayor de Blasio. Mayor de Blasio's first signal to the city that he was going to go back to business as usual was when he brought Bratton back. And we're here to say Bratton can't and shouldn't be speaking at our public institutions. He shouldn't be here in an institution of higher learning, which Cuny is made for working class people from New York, not millionaires and billionaires up here at $1,000 a seat here to hear Bill Bratton speak. This is not just about the police department, but this is about the class divides that separate our two cities, the haves and the haves not. And as de Blasio called it, the two tails, the two cities, and the tale of the two cities. And it's all bullshit. Bratton represents not only police brutality, and he still won't fire the cop who killed Eric Garner, but he also represents the interests of all of these rich motherfuckers who are here today.
Yeah.
So I'm here to stand with Cuny students. I'm here to stand with activists. I'm still with the parents who've lost loved ones, both in the first Bratton era and in the second Bratton era. And we're gonna keep fighting this guy, just like in Chicago, where they're tearing shit up right now, and they're going after the mayor. They already got rid of the police commissioner, the head of the detectives union. They're going after the mayor. They're going after all of these powerful people. And we in the city of New York should be going after them as well. Not only should we defend our communities and push for freedom and liberation for poor people and working class people, but we should also be going after all of these rich, powerful people who harass us in our communities on a daily basis. So I say, if they're gonna harass us in East Harlem, if they're gonna harass us in East New York, if they're gonna harass us in the Bronx, then we're gonna fucking harass them here. We're gonna harass all of them while all of their paid public servants over here pushing us away try to stop us. Because we won't be stopped, because we've had too much to lose, and we have nothing to lose but our chains.
These people tuck their tails in and walk through that door and feel comfortable enough honoring someone as psychotic and maniacal as Bill Bratton, that the head of the biggest Israeli bank that funds the genocide of the indigenous people of Palestine feels comfortable walking into our universities in New York City. What kind of a world are we living in? What kind of a city are we living in that these sick folks can walk through that door and feel comfortable? So while I'm proud to stand here with all of you, knowing that you guys are leading the fight, this is not enough. There should be an army of us out here. As a brother Josmar just said before, not just to make them feel uncomfortable, but to make sure that galas like this don't even exist. How is it possible that people are paying $1,000 a plate to go into our universities and be honored when they're engineering policies that are pushing working people of color out of this city every single day? How do they feel comfortable enough getting out of their fucking Ubers and walking in this door right now, being honored by city and state? What kind of city are we living in that these real estate developers sit side by side with progressives, the same progressives that our city put into office, that we have City Hall working hand in hand with Bill Bratton and the NYPD, and yet all of these progressive people who are supposed to be our allies, make no doubt about it, it's not just real estate developers in there. It's not just the head of Bank Cuny. It's not just Israeli developers who are in there, who have blood on their hands. They're sitting side by side with progressives This is the problem. They are normalizing these criminals so that we don't actually know who the working people in New York City don't actually know who the real enemy is. So when you open up the newspaper, all you hear is crime, 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 and you have a population that is so brainwashed that they think we need a police commissioner like that, and we need broken windows policing. These are the same tactics that are exported to Israel, to the genocidal government of Israel. How many times do we have to make these connections? The point is we have to spread this movement out so there are more working people here, and we're bringing this fight right to their doorstep.
Yeah. Charade, somebody should kick their ass. They should not be considered progressive by anybody because they're just covering a terrorist. If you watch television, CNN, Fox, you see Bratton on there. They like to bring him on as some expert on police, especially now with all the terrorism stuff and the demonizing and targeting of our Muslim, Arab, African, Asian, Palestinian sisters and brothers. You don't need to go to Paris to find terrorism. You don't have to go to California. Terrorism is what's in the heart of the parents of black and brown young people. Every time they watch their children leave to go to school and wonder whether some cop is going to put 6 or 20 bullets in them. That's terror. Terrorism is when you're walking down the street and you're guilty of the crime of being black or brown, and some cop is approaching you and you don't know whether you're going to survive that encounter. That's terrorism. And this monster is the #1 terrorist. And I'm glad and proud, and the PPA is glad and proud to be out here with you. Anywhere that he goes, you've got to be here. Whether it's 2 of you, 2.5 of you, or 2 million of you, to say he ain't no expert, he ain't no genius, he's just a motherfucking terrorist.
159. Back in the 70s, and we knew what coming out of Alvin Ailey's and even just going shopping in Bloomingdale's meant. We knew what we had to put up with then. Don't make it seem like this is a safe space. You either resist or you go along. That's your choice. And right now, they are saying to us, to keep you safe, like that man said, they keep us safe, we gotta kill some of you. And you gotta collude with that. Ray Kelly went into Nair and into black churches in Harlem and said that to the people sitting there. Sometimes we gotta kill some of y'all. And none of them stood up and turned their back on it. Bratton is doing that. He was always a racist. And for him to say, I'm not going to be so racist anymore, you are insane to believe that. He has done that. We have evidence. We have the death of Earth Garner. We have a Kai Girl. We have in the Bronx right now, the cops are on the buses of the BX11, the BX4, and the BX13 going after children, giving them tickets for $100 if they come on the back of the bus. You know it, right? We're filming the undercover cops. We have to tell the people this is what they're sending out to us on a daily basis. They're going after low-level children. And this white man feels real safe to say that to us. So never think you're in a safe space. We must fight everywhere. Everywhere. And to your city council members, you should be sending them letters that they're no longer welcome. You should tell them no Kwanzaa visits this year. You should tell them wherever they walk, you will be there to call them out. And you must do this now. Now. Thank you. Black Power.